Okay, here we go. Yes, I promised you, but I really am going to post everything up until now, either today or tomorrow. How's that? Look what I have. To start today, we're going to use some elements that you always have. So don't use the excuse if you're, I don't have any equipment. The first part of our moves today will be with your body weight. You always have it. The floor, the wall, and if you can pick up a stick anywhere, that's good. An umbrella, a stick, a pole, the end of a mop handle. You can always usually find a stick. Here we go. I see you there, Kay. Yes, I'm going to get warmed up a little differently. It is cold, very snowy, and we're going to start this session by doing the thing that I want you to do almost every day. I want you to revisit this, and I know it's the furthest thing from you, but you know what? I was doing it just starting off this morning. It puts every element almost of movement to do this next move. We're not going to go fast, but we're going to get down into the floor. Then we're going to get back up, and we're going to do at least 3 times because I want to prove a point to you. Lots of you have movement challenges, but guess what? If you fell, even with your movement challenges, you would have to get up somehow. And if you're by yourself, you better know the pathway. Okay, so here I go. We're going to get warmed up. We just woke up. Here's a chair. Usually you always have a chair. And we're going to go from the chair because this is our warm up. All right. Chrissy's already really warmed up. So do this anyway, Chrissy. You're going to like this. You just sit in your chair. Number 1, you hip hinge forward and back. And whenever I am telling you hip hinge, I want you to pretend that I'm standing right beside you with my hand right here. And if I feel you doing a little bit of flexion, then I'm going to halt you. And I'm going to say, pull your rib cage up, drop your shoulders, drop your chin. And just come forward, tap, and then back. And how far do you want to go? How far can you go? So you don't do it fast. You don't do it jerky. You take a big breath. Get your line up. You go forward until you feel your groin start to stretch. Then you push on your hands and you come back. You drop your shoulders. You go back until you start to feel your abdominals kick in. Then you come back forward again. And when you're coming forward, the temptation, unless you're very aware of it, is to round your back here. Don't do it because most of us really, really need to work on our flexibility in our hamstrings, which includes the groin. Okay? So as we're coming down, we do not round our back. Then we go back until we feel our tummy really starting to contract. Your stomach won't do that if you're rounding your back. It will not. You've got to pull your shoulders down, your rib cage up, and then do the forward. Take a breath. The back. Let it kick. Then you turn. So in your standing up and sitting down, after every 10, if you're going to do 30, 3 sets of 10, in between, I want you to do at least 1 or 2 of these. So, Chrissy, I'm telling you, when you put that knee down there and you take your whole body back, keeping your chin tucked, keeping your knee down, go to your shoelaces on your foot. That is going to open your hip and stretch your quad in a really good way to get you warmed up. See how I'm getting in position? See this? I want that knee down. I'm right on the edge of my chair. See that? Now, if I go and put my foot down with my shoelaces on the ground, perfect. Then I go back. Wow, is this going to open this? Big time. Your back will feel so much better once you've done this, because this tight hip flexors, whether you have arthritis or a hip replaced, it's very difficult to really get in a position that you can affect these in such a way. This is the ticket. So you do it a couple of times, but you don't do it like willy-nilly. You turn, you put your knee down, you put your shoelaces on the floor. Then you take your whole body back, and it starts to really open that up. And you do it at least one good time with holding, or 2 or 3 times. That's the ticket. And this is the one thing you could add when you're doing a sit to stand multiple times. If you don't feel the stretch, reposition. Take the knee so that it's down. Your shoelaces are on the floor. Then you drop your chin and you go back until you feel that stretch right here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to go from here. And I want you to do this carefully if you can at all. Some of you who have avoided getting in the floor, you could use this suggestion. You come right here. Maybe you have a wall, a counter with your chair. Great. Use that. Put your hand on that. If you don't, you can just come right down and put your hand right here. See how I just kind of came off that chair? See, I can put, because I'm tall. Somebody like Kay or Chrissy, you probably couldn't do that. You'd have to actually lift yourself up off of the floor. They're what I call fun-sized. Mac is down here because he thinks something's wrong with me. You're okay, Mac. Then you bring that knee back. And you're on your hands and knees. He thinks I'm going to play with him. And then, see, I'm doing all the moves that I need to do to get warmed up. I'm putting my forehead down on the floor, and I'm reaching my hands way out. My ears are at my biceps. My butt is up. See that? My butt is up. You come down just as far as you can. Stretch those shoulders. Yes. Then you turn. Then you come open with the top of your body. See that? Just like you were laying down in your bed. So here's the deal. All I'm doing is exactly what you should do in your bed. And if you have to do this in your bed, then do these moves in your bed. If you're still too scared to get on the floor because you're by yourself and you think you'll get stuck, I understand that. But at least go and do it in your bed. Now I'm going to go to the other side. See? All of this to get you warmed up. And yes, your mobility at the stage where we're at is really very important. So I'm going to come down. I'm going to roll. And I'm going to open that chest. See, I'm just opening. My knees are this way. My arm is this way. Take a big deep breath. And in the process of getting up and coming down into this position, I'm literally doing several of the moves that are the mobility moves that we want to be doing. I'm going to come up here to the chair. I can use the chair to get up with, or the way I prefer is right here. Toes under, really stretch through the feet, put the butt up, push back, bend your knees, press into the feet, into the heels a little more, and come up. Let me tell you, I'm not going to go back down yet. I'm going to do that at the end because I know Chrissy's going to be leaving. So I'm getting some other thing. You do that move that I just now did from the chair 3 times, you will feel differently. Totally. You will feel differently. Okay. I want her to use your body weight to get up. I want her to use the chair if possible and the floor. You can also go from the wall or you can use your bed. Now get your pole. See? Put it right back here. See that? I'm gonna put it right at the very bottom of the back, right at the top of the hips. See that? Then I'm gonna step wide. So when you're doing your stand-ups and sit-downs, sometimes we don't get enough turning. And that's why I'm focused on our turning. And that's why when you're doing stands-ups, sit to stands, and you're doing 10 at a time, in between the second set, in between the third set, do some of those turns on the chair. See, I'm coming to neutral. I'm stopping. I'm coming to neutral. Because why? Because too many times I've seen people just start slinging. I want you to turn. I want you to pivot. I want you to say rib cage up. And then I'm going to come back into the neutral stance. I'm going to drop my shoulders. I'm going to turn. I'm going to really pivot with one leg, one foot. The other foot stays pretty forward. So it's a kind of a precarious position, but it's not going to hurt your joints, okay? This is quite a functional move. See this? You just lift your heel, and this is a move that people like Juliana has to be really pretty proficient in. I lift my heel. I turn on my toe. If I feel any sticking, if you're on a carpet, depending on what shoes you have, as you talk to dancers, your shoe selection is quite important depending on the surface you're going to be on because of this kind of sticking points. You don't want to stick. You want to be able to slide. See how I'm turning one but not the other? This is kind of a big deal, especially if you have double hips replaced and you've done some sit to stands. You want to do some pivoting. You want to do some turning. Okay, now you're ready to push it. So now I'm going to really turn. I'm not going to do it fast. I'm going to take a breath. And every time I say take a breath, what am I saying? What am I saying? Yes, I'm saying shut your mouth. Breathe through your nose. It'll make you do deep breathing just by virtue of that. And now really turn. Look over that shoulder. Breath. And I don't do turns quickly at all because I don't want you to get dizzy. You have this in your hands. It would take you a couple of seconds to unwind and to put your hand on something. So I don't want to cause a problem with that, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and put my gloves on. And the other thing that we don't do too much of is leg swings. So here I go. I'm going to do a leg swing. And all I need is a wall, a chair, a pole, whatever you feel comfortable with. So tight tummy, yes. Soft knees, yes. Bring the toe up, bring the leg up, then bring it back. And try your best not to let it just rotate out. So the normal thing would be to turn that toe out. That's number one. Number two, this is going to make it much more safe. Watch this. I do not want anybody who's doing this move to catch their heel. And so I'm giving myself 2 inches of grace. See this? I stepped up on the cushion and I'm right to the edge because I don't want to catch my heel. Okay, this is a really good move. We've done this many times, but it occurred to me that if you're coming through like this and you're not at the right height, if you've had joints replaced and one leg is shorter than the other, you can run into trouble with catching your heel. So you see how this now is free swinging. I don't have to worry about touching my heel. If I keep my toe up, I don't have to worry about that. See? And then here's the deal. I have my hand on the chair gently. The knee is soft. Don't lock that sucker. Tighten the tummy, drop your shoulders. Keep your toe up and swing. Swing to how you feel comfortable with. I'm not telling you to throw this really high. I'm saying just swing it through. You get all kinds of movement going when you're doing this. I'm getting one-legged loading, number one. I'm getting cross-body swinging, number two. I'm getting quick moves. That's very difficult to do when you've had injury, you have joint issues, very hard to go quickly. Okay, so I'm getting all of those elements by this one move. And it's the move that we don't think of doing very often. Yeah, it's just not in our, think about file. Okay, change. See, I'm coming right here. Soften the knee. Drop your shoulders. Tighten tummy. Big breath. I'm going to just keep pushing down. Don't pull the chair. I would prefer you be on a wall, but you can use a chair. Just keep your knees soft and take breaths and be ready to move. See how I'm doing? This swing with my toe forward, kind of important. Don't bend this leg. Keep this leg pretty straight with your toe up. Yeah, toe up. Toe up. Breath through the nose. You're getting that crossbody swinging going. You're bringing the leg straight up, straight back. Do not turn that toe out. Keep your knees soft on the other leg, your supporting leg. And do it at a nice rhythmic swinging pace. Breath, 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 and breath. And come back down. Now, this was the forward and back swinging. Yes, we can do across the leg swinging. However, if you have joints replaced, especially if you have double hip replacement, that can get, you need to be very mindful of your body position. So let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to put my hands on the chair. I'm going to hip hinge a little because I want to let the legs swing from side to the other side. And I'm very careful with it and I watch it. Okay. And I don't fully get into a swing. I'm placing the leg out and back. This is a very good move to do. But if you happen to go too fast and you're swinging and you catch your toe on your chair, problem. Now you could do this at the wall. That would be fine, but you're going to hip hinge, drop your shoulders, and you're out and back. Okay? Out and back. And this is my hip replace side. I'm not going to throw that hip way up. No. But I'm going to get into the rhythm of a nice across the front of the body swinging with my adductors and abductors. That's the inside and outside of my leg muscles. And you'll know when to switch when you feel the buildup of tension on the supporting leg. Does that make sense? So here I go. Get my foot placement, hip hinge, tight tummy, drop my shoulders, forward, and then out. And forward and out. Take a big breath, keep your knees soft. Just press gently down on the chair in front of you. Keep your knees soft, you keep on to lock it, I know. Take a breath, make sure your pathway is clear. Tight tummy, drop the shoulders, big breath. Yes, 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 yes. Couple more times. Stay with me, stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. Keep your toe up and come back down. Now I want you to go on your heels and bring your toes up and then bring them down. I call this the Charlie Chaplin move. So you come up and you come back down, okay? He does this kind of a motion a lot in some of his reels, some of his funny things that have been recorded. And you can do this without your use of your hands. If you use your hands, use them lightly. So this is one of the ones that I especially like to do with active people because you're shifting, you're practicing that shifting. You're hip hinging and you're coming into your heels and then you're lifting your heels. Then you're coming into your heels, then you're lifting your heels. In fact, lift your heels so much that you really go into your toe box. Okay, you flex those toes. So again, for this warm up into our main part of our class, I am trying to use the elements that you always have around you. A, your body weight. B, a floor. A chair. Did I use my pole yet? I can't remember. Okay, here we go. So back and forth, getting those front tibialis anterior muscles to work. Now I'm up on the chair. I'm going to do one last one on here. And this is one of the ones that if you don't have time to do a lot with weight training, if you've done your sit to stands, then get on your chair. You could do it on the floor, but get on your chair at least. And just lift your hips and drop your shoulders and just go like this. Act like you're going to cross your leg, then act like you're going to cross your leg. My elbows are what? Everybody should be screaming. They are soft. They are bent a little. My shoulders are down. And see, if you do this just like a sit to stand, you will have loaded your shoulders. You will have loaded your upper body. You will have used your core. Squeeze your gluteal. Every time you put your leg over the other leg, squeeze. Right there. Squeeze. Take a breath. Squeeze. Take a breath. Breath. Just two more. Just two more. Just two more. Stay with me. Keep your elbows bent. Okay. It was a 1 and 2 and. You know, we're losing both our counters, so I had to tell you that's how I figure it. 1 and 2 and. I hope you're laughing. Okay. Big breath. Here we go. We did our crab crawl. We did a downward dog. We did several other of these basic moves in just the things that we did just now. Can't get better than that. Go into this move again. This is our groin stretch. Now we're gonna go into our T-spine stretch, but we're gonna do it from a sit down here. So we're gonna put our hand behind our head and we're gonna open back. We're gonna try to open back. Yeah, just like that. Come back down, put your hand on your head, open back. Really try to turn. You're pushing on one arm and pulling on the other. We're only going to do this twice. You want to stay down here. You want to keep your elbow on your knee. You put your hand back here on your head, and then you push against your knee and you try to pull open. See that? Keep my chin tucked. And then come back down. Take a breath. Here we go. Drop our shoulders. Hand behind the head. Push against the leg. Open. Open, 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 open. And then come back down. So, if you didn't like that one, I put that one in there just for Kay. So talk to her. Okay? I knew you'd like that, Kay. Okay, sit to stand. I'm all the way down. I'm not using the pad. I'm going to just act like I'm going to lead a choir. So I'm going to hip hinge. I'm not going to jerk. I'm not going to use momentum. I'm not going to swing into it. I'm gonna lead the choir. That is a stand up. This is a sit down. You're fully in control. Take a breath, drop your shoulders. Just act like you're gonna lead the choir. And then come back down, okay? Breath, lead the choir. And come back down, all right? So if you wanna test yourself again, through the week, through the day, get in a chair, lead the choir, go as quickly as you can without compromising your form, okay? When you come into this position, you gotta stick that butt way out and come back down. Take breaths, push, come back down, push, come back down. You gotta be able to do 10 to 15. That's what you're looking at. You know, of course, if you can get 15 more, then you're better, even. If you can get at least 10, then what you're doing is you're ensuring that you're strong enough to sidestep that category that we don't want to be in. That's called the frail elderly. Oh my goodness, that's what we keep tuning in here for. Okay, I'm gonna go to 9 pounds in each of my hands. Okie dokie. 9 pounds. And I'm gonna come right out here. I'm gonna do one of my first moves to hit every muscle almost. Every muscle. It's gonna be a little froggy squat, but I'm doing it with collectively, of course. If I have 9 and 9, that's 18 pounds. So here's the deal. When I push my butt back and I go down, I have got to keep my shoulders down by breathing, going, hip hinge, yes. Go down with my butt and then pull back in and pull the butt in. Then you push back out. Take a breath, drop your butt. Now start to pull in, pull in, pull in, pull in. Breath. And exhale as you come up. Okay? Breathing in. Go to your heels. Now come up, up, up. See, I'm pushing into my heels. Exhaling. Squeeze your rear end right now. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Then come back down. Heels, 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 heels. Drop your butt, drop your butt, drop your butt. Come back up and open. See, whenever I come in or I come out, doesn't matter. My shoulders are down, okay? Chin is tucked. Push that butt back. Stay with me, you guys. Stay with me. I'm talking you through every single one of these. So right now, your butt needs to be squeezing in. Okay, now push back. Breath. Drop your butt. Push into the heels. Squeeze the rear end in. Come back down. Take little by little by little. Every step right with me. Okay, breath. Don't get confused on that. The main thing you don't want to do here is let your butt be higher than your head. Don't do that. You want to come down, keep your chin tucked. Go down with your butt. Then push back. Open those shoulders, but keep them down. Big breath. Okay, ready? You're breathing. You exhale. And then come back in, okay? Don't worry about, oh, you know, I get so mixed up on my breathing. Don't worry about it. Just keep breathing. In, when you do the effort, out. Exhale, exertion. Okay, we're gonna do 5 more. Do them with me. You ready? Here we go. Breath, drop your butt, press. Now we're gonna keep the arms out here. We're gonna keep the arms out here as we go down this time. Keep them out here and really drop into the rear end. Then come back. Breath, Here we go. Hip hinge. Big breath. Come back. Pull in. Okay, breath. And breathe. Exhale as you come up. Big breath. Stay into the heels. And exhale. Stay into those heels. Do not let the knees wobble on you. Keep them straight out. Breath. Come back. Squeeze tight. Okay, just one more. Here we go. And come back. Squeeze tight. Big breath. Okay. These are 18 pounds. 9 and 9. Right? So we're going to do a split stance. We're going to do a little hip hinge. So when I did that hip hinge, I pulled my rib cage up. Then I hip hinge back, bending the knee in the back, bringing the elbows right to the sides of my body. See that? Drop your shoulders, and then just straighten the elbow. That's it. That's all I want you to do. So you're pushing back on the heel and back. You're pushing your knee down. You're taking a breath. Taking a breath. Exhale. Taking a breath. Exhale. Breath. Exhale. Breath. Exhale. Woo! Go. 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 Just two more. Just two more. Stay with me. Stay with me. One more. One more. Now, go down. Bring yourself up. And you're ready to switch. So step up right here. So by doing this rowing action or arm extensions, flexions and extensions, we are doing the step back lunge. See that? Don't step narrow. If you're losing your balance, you're too narrow. Go a little wider. Don't turn your toes out. Drop your shoulders. Take a breath. You want to bend the back knee a little. Bend the hip right at the hip hinge. This is our second set for the upper body. Okay, bring those elbows up. Keep your chin tucked. Keep pushing your knee down and back. Push. Squeeze the shoulder blades. If you are somebody that is worried about your osteoporosis, your bones up in your shoulders and your spine, you gotta focus on this. Maybe you're doing it with very light weight. That's fine. But you gotta push back and you gotta roll those shoulder blades back. And then you come open and they open. Push back, squeeze. Keep that knee headed down and back. Push back, squeeze. Here we go. Push back, squeeze. Push back, squeeze. Push back, squeeze those shoulders. Ah! Breath. Push back and squeeze. Pull the shoulders in like you're trying to squeeze a pencil. Yeah. Then you step back up. Okay, now I am going to be the chair. You may want to sit down. That's perfectly fine. But I'm going to do it as if I'm sitting down, but I'm my own chair, if that makes sense. I'm going to hip hinge and go into a bent over rowing situation. So what I want you to do is put your weights down here. Do the first couple with no weights, okay? So open your hands, bent over row, drop your butt down, and come up and come back. It's this action that I'm wanting. If you get tired, sit down. I am going to do double duty. I'm going to be pulling my 9 and 9, which is 18, and I'm going to be holding my body weight with this weight. You may elect to sit down. That's fine. Or do it half and half. Do one set. We're going to do 2 sets. I'm going to do 2 sets of 8. Okay? So that's where we're going here. So pick your position. You're going to drop your butt. Pull. Pull. Breath. Woo. Breath. Stay into your heels. Pray and stay into your heels. Okay. Take a breath. Halfway there. Almost there. One more. And come up. Yes. Wasn't that fun? I know. We just have so much fun. Okay, here. If you're sitting down, stand up. Put your weights there. Okay? Step forward and back. And just do your arm swings. See this? This is a really good recovery. Right in the middle of our sets. Okay? Just like this. Change your steps. I love changing steps because that makes you work on your balance more. So change your other lead foot right in the middle of your swinging. Change your feet. Yes. Okay. Then come back. I'm going to grab my weights. And I'm going to do the second set. So I'm going to do 8. Are you ready? I'm going to be in my chair. If you need to do it on the chair, I would rather you sit on the chair and really pull through the shoulders. If it's hard for you to concentrate because it's too hard. Or don't use so much weight. I chose 9 and 9 because that's what I chose. Okay? You may do just fine with 3 and 3 or 6 and 6. Here we go. So sit in the chair if you need to. I'm down as far as I can go. Bring those elbows up and then just push them out. Oh, I did that as an extension. I didn't mean to do that. Just pull. Breath, pull. Breath, pull. Breath. Start with your shoulders. Start the action with your shoulders. How do you do that? You drop your shoulders. When you're pulling, you drop your shoulders. Yes, stay in the heels. Breath. Breath. 2 more, 2 more, 2 more. And come down and up. Yay! All right. Okay, you ready? Right here. We're going to do a bicep curl. Just like this. Okay, you can do one and then the other. If you have no weights, you can do them together. If you have very lightweight, you can do them together. Get your good stance. Soften your knees. Big breath. And pull into that bicep curl with very good control. You're keeping your chin down. Okay, and I always suggest, no matter where you're at, unless you have a specific injury that you're recovering from, I like to put a little weight. I don't care if it's a tin can filled with food, but I want you to feel something against that muscle. Pull. See that? Take a big breath. Pull. You're not slinging it. As you're pulling in to the abdominals. Very braced. Bent the knees. You're just softening them. Keeping your shoulders down. You should be feeling something in your bicep by now. Ah, breath. Exhale. Breath. Exhale. Breath. Exhale. Okay, that was probably 6 to 8. Now I'm going to step back. So I'm splitting the motion right now. I have to step back so I don't hit that fan that I have on. See how I'm going to turn these out? So here's my first test for you. You pull these up, and if it's very difficult or if you have pain in your shoulder, you need to do this whole thing with very little or no weight. Okay? So do the first move with me. Here we go. Number 1, don't lock your knees. I know, I've told you 100 times, but you keep locking them, right? That's why I keep saying it. Drop your shoulders. Take a breath. Knees are soft. Pull in the tummy. Pull. Now open. Now push. And you don't have to go all the way up if it causes you problems, or when you're pushing up, you notice that your weights are out in front of you. I don't want them out in front of you. I want them right above your shoulders, right like that. Breath. Exhale. Big breath. Soft knees. Exhale. Breath. Soft knees. Exhale. Breath. Soft knees. Up. Breath. Just two more. Just two more. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Tight tummy. Soft knees. Exhale. Right there. And then come down and then come down. Okay. Humor me on this. Take your weights, whatever you got. Go and put them in your rack. Okay. And if you just humor me, if your weights that you were just using, you were like, okay, this is pushing a little. Good. I want to go to the higher weight now. So mine just turned 1. So I'm going to take a 12 and a 12. Okay? And when I say humor me, some of you are very reticent to pick up heavier weights. And yes, I want you to make the decision. However, I just want you to pick them up and put them in your hands as if you were going to do a carry. So when I do a carry, I use a lot more heavy weight than I do when I'm pushing up overhead. Okay? That's number 1. But number 2, when I pick up a heavier weight and I'm going to think about putting it up toward the head, okay? I'm not going to go all the way up, but I have a heavier weight. My shoulders, my back muscles, my upper back muscles, mid back, lower back, my legs, they all have to read out. They all have to be okay with me doing my next move, which is curl and open. And I'm at a higher weight. Then I bring it back and I curl it down. So when you pick up a heavier weight, this is maybe the only place you go. You curl and you can do it 1 at a time, and then you open and you hang on to it. Then you come back in. Then you go down 1 at a time. So if you're somebody that has avoided lifting much weight, I understand. I want you to stay with the paradigm of more repetitions, lighter weight. However, there's a time when we have to start progressing toward a heavier weight. This is how you do it. I just added 3 more pounds on every arm. So now I'm 12 and 12 instead of 9 and 9. I'm going to go pull. I'm going to go pull. And I'm going to go open. As if I were going to go up over my head. But look at my weights. Look at the position of my weights. They're by my head. They're touching my ears. Then I go to my shoulders. Then I go to my ears. But they're in. They're not way out. So when you go to a heavier weight, do it properly. Okay? Put that load on those shoulders. Yeah, those arms. Yeah, the back. See, I'm just going to my ears and back down. I'm doing it a couple of times. Then I bring it down. Then I bring my shoulders with this heavier weight. If you did this move and you had a much lighter weight, you wouldn't have near the effect of the load. So this kind of up into my ears, drop. Up into my ears, drop. And when you're dropping, I want you to bend your knees, just push into the toes. Don't even lift the heel. Don't even lift the toes. All I want you to do is shift. I want you to shift forward and back, but don't lift. Don't lift your heels, don't lift your toes, just shift. Then pull while you're shifting, okay? So this is called a compound move. It's a small compound move. You have to make your brain think about 2 or 3 things, okay? As well as keeping your tummy in. So shift. Your knees are soft. Do not lift your toes. Do not lift your heels. You will have much more success at this. Okay, this is a great way to load. Great way to load. Breath back and forth, breath back and forth. So we just completed one of the essential moves for longevity, and that is a bicep curl to overhead. Then we did our shoulder shrugs on that. We did lots of shifting. We did our bent over rows. We did our backward lunge while we were doing our bent over rows. Now we've already done our one knee standing. We did our weights to squat. Now I have this heavier weight. I'm gonna just step. I'm not putting my foot on anything. I have to shift. I have to soften my knee. I have to drop my shoulders. If I'm gonna bring my knee up in order to take a step. You see that? This is very valuable. You gotta be able to hang out and hold on to your balance. So right now I just shifted, see? My knee is soft, breath. I'm gonna act like I'm gonna take a step. So that means I have to bring my knee up, right? And if I was gonna take a step, I could do that. But then I decide not to. See that? So when you're doing a carry, and a carry is at the center of a required move with weights. See how I'm doing it? If you want to keep your balance better, if you want to keep your bones, you got to be able to carry a load, okay? Then I go back, but see what I'm doing? I'm breaking it down to very small steps, all right? And I'm managing 24 pounds. And yeah, I could go on up to the 30. I could go on up to almost 40. But I want you to break down this move. This is a valuable move if you make it that way. So how do you do that? Yeah, it's valuable just on its own face. However, if I really want to get balance, strength, everything from this move, I am going to hesitate on the knee up position. I'm going to spread out my toes, even in my shoes. Spread those toes out. Hold that knee up there and then put it down like you're going to take a walk. Okay, drop the shoulders. They're just hanging off my fingertips. Here I go. Spread out your toes. Spread out your toes. Put your foot down as a kickstand and come right back into the balance. Yeah, you're going to lose your balance. That's what I want you to do, because I want you to be able to manage this weight while you do the carry. And all I did today was break down the carry to really let you see the valuable components in doing a really thorough carry with control. And you don't have to take more than a couple steps. That's what's so cool about this. Okay. Now, put my weights down, shake out my hands. One of the other valuable things of doing a carry is the gripping that you have to do against a weight, okay? Now I'm going to get my pole. I'm going to end with my pole work, okay? I didn't say I'm going to end with my pole dancing, okay? That's for Julia. Okay, I have my pole. Now I'm going to take that concept of stepping in a carry, in a march, in a walk, and I'm going to take it to my chair. Okay? I want you to get yourself in a situation where you have a chair to step up to. We're not going to step up on it, but I want you to have a pole and a counter, like I could do this right here. And I could have the chair here if I needed to do it. A wall, something on the other side that you can hang on to, okay? That's just for insurance. Then I'm gonna do the same kind of moves. I'm gonna shift. I'm gonna drop my shoulders, say ribcage up. I'm gonna bring that knee up. I'm gonna hold it up over the chair. And then I'm gonna put the foot on the chair, the whole foot, okay? As I'm up there, then I'm gonna bring it back down. When you bring it off the chair, I want you to lift it. So here we go. Tight tummy, shift, bring your leg up, hold it, breath, hold it, breath, hold it, and then put it on the chair, okay? Check your supporting foot, because that's what I would be doing right now. I don't want your foot to be out. If your foot is out trying to seek balance, then you for sure need to have something on the other side to hold on to. Do not turn your foot to do that. Now, we're going to take that foot off of the chair. Tighten your tummy, drop your shoulders, soften the knee, bring the knee up, hold, breath, 1, breath, 2, breath, 3, come right back down and right back down, okay? Once you've done that, just lift the heel back, lift the heel back, lift the heel. You can put your hands on your chair, just lift the heel back. Do not turn your toe, okay? You keep your toe forward. So this is our gluteal, this is our back extensors. Drop your shoulders, it's our core, breath, core, breath. So some of the things that we need to always be able to do and keep our balance is stepping up, okay? And here's the story. Yes, this is a very researched thing. You have to be able to step up, either on a step, a stair. You got to be able to step up and hold your balance. If somebody hasn't done that kind of a move in a long while, and they're on a vacation and they have to load or unload somewhere on a bus, a train, a plane, a boat, and they haven't done this as a training, I've seen them dozens of times go into this, and right here, they're in the floor. So this is a very important move to do. Do it with safety nets. Hold the move. Just hang on to it. Count 1001, 1002, 1003. Do it several times with a back leg extension. See that? So now you counter all those muscles that you fired on the front. Now you're firing them on the back. So it's a sandwich type of a skill that you want to put in there, okay? Okay, put this right at the back again. Put your hands all the way open. This is one of the best ways I know to get your shoulders to quit rounding. Drop your shoulders. Yes, drop them. Hold all the way out here. And now we're just going to turn the upper. We're not going to pivot, okay? We're not going to pivot. We're going to soften our knees. We're going to turn our upper body against or with this pole. See? I'll spell that for you someday. I think it's in the dictionary. P-O-W-L. Is that it? I just like to drive my teachers nuts. Okay, drop your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. Don't let those shoulders come up. Hold this all the way out. All the way out. Turn that upper body. You're not pivoting right now. You're turning against this pole with your feet stationary. Breath, breath, breath. And why is this one so important to do? Didn't we do that before? We pivoted before. But when you do this one, You start going quicker. What starts happening? Yeah, you start going, oh, I'm getting dizzy. That's training your vestibular. And you may need to stop and look at something that's not moving and get your bearings, but then do it again. Don't get scared with it. Just do it where you have a chair that you can hang on to or something like that. Okay. Big last move. Here we go. You want to be able to fold, especially when you have joints replaced. So I'm so much more stiff on one knee than the other. My hip, no, not so much. It's just certain moves I can't get into. But I'm going to come here and I'm going to fold. Now I have my chair here. And here's the first thing that you want to try to do. You want to keep your shoulders down and you want to keep your chin tucked. Now, when you get to this point, you drop your butt. Don't put your head down. You fold down until you think you can pick something up here. You pick something up or pretend you're picking something up and you come straight up, okay? That's a fold. Yeah, your toes can be out a little bit, yes. I try to keep mine pretty straight, but it's wide. When you start going down, the propensity of many of us, when you get to this point, and I've heard people say this to me, look how far I can go down, Jeannie. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Take your butt down. Take your butt down. Act like you're going to pick something up. Stay down there for a little bit. Don't let those knees flare excessively. They are tracking right over your foot and ankle. 3 of them. Here we go. Push the butt back. Drop. 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 Hold on. Act like you're picking up stuff. And then come back up. So my knee is such that it will only allow me to go down a certain amount. Yeah, I'll push it as far as I can. Big breath. Hands go behind the head. Just like that. You open, open, open. Open up and open. You come into a W. You go into a T. You turn. How's everything floating? Then you go into that big Y. When you do the Y, drop those shoulders. Big breath. Your biceps should be able to come to your ear. That's what I'm checking for. See, if I do that and I can only do this, then I got to start back. Yeah, I got to start doing this because something too tight in here. Okay, here's my Y, right? Here's my T. And we can do tons of stuff with our T, circles, and then here's our W. When we go to W, we want to be able to touch our shoulders with the palms of our hands. And we want to keep our chin tucked. We don't want to be hanging our chin out like that. If you don't know how to find that out, get yourself up against a closed door or against a wall, and you will see how far out your neck is, your head is. Okay. Anyway, you know my line. Yes, it hurt me more than you. Stop recording.